Hello, this is Pat Devine with Week 1, Data Structures and Algorithms. So for our first week, our lab was to create a couple programs that would measure something, I guess was the words. So I made a few classes here doing slightly different things. The first one I made was a sort, which I timed. So I imported time and OS, which I don't even think I needed the OS actually. But anyway, started the time before the execution of the sort, printed the numbers sorted, and then there's an end time, and it prints the time. So I'll run it real quick just to prove it works. And as you can see, it's very, 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 very precise. I think it was 1/60th of a second or 1/100th of a second maybe. Alright, oh no, here we are. Okay, now here I imported the timeit module, and instead of using the regular timer, I used the default timer. Now, I think I read somewhere that one of them was more precise than the other, but maybe that was on an earlier version of Python, because when I run them, the decimal places are exactly the same. So here I had hello world times 100, and I wanted to start and end like a stopwatch. So there we go, 0.047. You get the idea. So let's get rid of this guy. Now for my third class, I have a pretty simple loop. So this is going to loop through, and what we're going to measure here is the time it takes for the comprehension of the list that's entered, as well as the time it took for the loop to execute. So this is pretty cool, and it's from the timeit function as well. Time taken for loop, 2.8. Time taken for list comprehension, 2.8. Which I think this is really cool right here. So let's get rid of this guy. Now, so for the last class, for the last class, I set up a little code to keep track of seconds, minutes, and hours. And then it's going to stop and clear at 1 hour. And how we did this is we made a while loop. So I thought this was a really interesting idea to time something. I don't know if there would be a reason for why you would use something like this rather than the timeit, but this will run when seconds get to 59, goes back to 0, and the minutes increase. Same with the minutes and hours, but once we hit an hour, it's going to sleep. So I'll run that. Made a little menu. What's the problem here? Well, you get the idea. it was working before. I must have made a little typo in the meantime. But there's my video for week 1. I'm gonna get this started.